Hi, everyone. Welcome to this workshop to learn how to automate 30% of your CX. We're super happy to have you here. My name is Lenaïg. I'm one of the PM at Gorgias. Oops, sorry. One of the PMs at Gorgias, and I work on the automate part for the past 2.5 years. And before that, I was a PM at an e-commerce website. And today, I'm joined with Bernie and Molly from... Oh, what's happened? Little technical difficulties. Yeah, for the people in the back, there's a couple seats in the front if you want to come here while we fix the visuals. But yeah, I'm with Bernie and Molly from Shinesty, so I'll let them introduce themselves while we fix the slides.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, everybody, I'm Bernie Goldenberg. I work at Gorgias with Lenaïg. I'm a senior product marketing manager working on our Automate product, and the majority of my time, despite it being very short so far at Gorgias, has been focused on our AI agent tool, which I don't know if you guys heard about it, but we've been talking about it a lot. So that's what I've been working on.
Hi, and I'm Molly. I'm Senior Director of Retention and CX at a company called Shinesty. We specialize in comfortable underwear, and I've been a Gorgias user since I started working on the team for almost 2.5 years now.
Cool. Oh, are we back? No. I don't think it's glitching on this side. All right, well, the goal of today, I guess I'll go over the agenda real quick. I'm briefly going to introduce the topic, and then we're going to do a fireside chat between Bernie and Molly to go over her experience as a Automate customer and recently AI agent beta user. So far at Shinesty, you've been able to reach 50% of automation rate?
54, but...
Sorry. Important. And so it's going to be great to hear firsthand and not the chit-chat for me. But yeah, do we have the slides? Yeah, all right. I'll continue without the support anyway. But okay, so in case you're not aware, but Automate is one of the 3 products that we offer at Gorgias with the help desk and Convert that was briefly mentioned by Thomas and Roman today at the introduction speech. And so the goal of Automate is to provide instant resolution to get happier customer. Oh, are we back? Yay. No, on the other side. It's great. So to get instant resolution, to get happier customer, and also to give you back time so that you can be more productive and ultimately just grow your brand. So far, can I control it with the clicker? Yeah, oh, wait. Okay, great. No? Okay. And so so far, we have about 6,000 customers that are using Automate. The average customer kind of reaches about 15% automation rate, and the top 10, 30. So Molly is even higher than the top 10. And it's been great, but there's some limits to it. We've been working with automated response, workflows, and we can get up to some incremental improvements, but it's not like Michael that knows all of your customers' information, and that's why we're embracing AI and trying to provide you with AI-powered CX. And with that, we aim to reach, I think I'm back. Yeah, we aim to reach up to 60% automation rate. So that's the goal for tomorrow. And as it was mentioned previously today, this is going to be reached with AI agent. We have a saying in French, which is jamais 203. So you've heard it twice, you're going to hear it a third time. And so hopefully today you leave with that piece of information. And just as a reminder, if you come after lunch at the Genius booth, we'll be able to help you set it up. And so something that we missed because of the glitch in the slides at the beginning is we'll do a Q&A at the end. So here you have a QR code if you want to flash it. Otherwise, on all of the slides at the bottom right, you have the code. So if you go on slido.com on your phone and you just type that code, you'll be able to start submitting questions throughout the whole conversation. and then we'll go through them at the end. And I think that's enough for me, and I will hand the mic over to Bernie.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I guess we can start our fireside chat without fire. So you touched on it a little bit, but kind of maybe walk through a little bit more about your experience with Gorgias and how it's been going so far.
Yeah, so I've been with Shinesty for about 3.5 years now, but 2.5 years ago, I was asked to step in for CX. I'm actually a marketer at my core. And since then, I've been working very closely with Gorgias. I think about 1.5 years ago is really when I started to get my hands dirty and digging into the platform. And so far, so good. And no joke, every few months, I just continue to see some pretty solid improvements. So it's been a great experience so far.
We love to hear that. And then you mentioned, you got into the nitty-gritty, you started getting into the details. So if you can expand upon that in terms of what Gorgias features, products. I know we mentioned the automation rate and the great success there. Maybe you could dive in a little deeper into that experience of what you liked about them and kind of how you implemented them.
Yeah, so I mean, even before Automate, I was really enjoying Gorgias as a product. I think one of the biggest and most useful updates was the opportunity for fields. This helped me in not only my CX performance, but it also kind of gave me the opportunity to break down and understand the customer voice a little bit better, and that actually translated really nice into my marketing role. And then when Automate came along, it basically changed everything. Basically, we were facing a problem. We were concerned about how many people we needed to hire during the holidays, and we knew this product existed, but we really hadn't dug into it at all. So we implemented it, and we were able to only hire 2 agents during the holiday season, raising our team from 3 to 5. So that was probably our biggest game changer to date with Gorgias, and we're also just super excited to see what AI can do for us as well.
Right, that makes sense. And then I know you just touched on this and kind of like what drove you to adopt the Automate feature, but how was the actual process of setting it up? So you mentioned you had to bring in, a smaller amount of agents, but what was it like setting them up for success using this product?
Yeah, so everybody's probably had to hire for holiday season before, right? And you're bringing on people really quickly, and there's a lot of room for error, unfortunately. These aren't your seasoned agents, and there's usually a huge, they take up a good ratio or a good percentage of your team during that time. I didn't want to do that. I wanted answers to remain consistent. I wanted that information that we knew worked, communicated correctly. So we did Automate. And our first step was we reevaluated our entire help desk. We actually rebuilt it. We did this huge cleanup with the idea that these would be served as product or article recommendations. We weren't taking the approach of necessarily we want all the information just presented to the customer. We wanted all the information presented to the customer, and we wanted to teach them how to self-serve. You could always just send someone a tracking number and say, okay, here's the tracking. They get the link once, and then they'll always have to come back to the automated product to know that. Well, we know that our site has all these processes set up, right? We have a portals page, which has your order history. Next time, the customer won't have to reach out to the agent or the chat bot or whatever we're using at the time, or however they decided to contact us. They know that they can go into their account and check their order history. So it's kind of like the mentality of we're rewriting our articles in order to teach a man to fish, right? They'll always be able to come back and know exactly where to go to track their order. This basically changed the game. It was relatively quick. We already had that information. We just had to do some slight restructuring, and we actually edited it down significantly on the number of words we were using. So it was easy to identify. There was not a lot of fluff. We kept some of our humor in there because we are an underwear company, and our trademark product is a ball hammock. We wanted to keep that consistent through, but like we just kept it really simple. And in terms of keeping it going and like keeping everything up to date, is just like we audit our articles on a pretty regular cadence, and we also use AI recommended articles to kind of identify those areas where we have gaps.
Yeah, and just to kind of fill in, she mentioned the AI recommended articles or AI generated articles, and this takes information from tickets that are coming in through the help desk. It's identifying what are those like most common questions and how are they consistently being answered, and then it'll start creating article recommendations on your behalf, because it'll say, hey, you guys are answering, X amount of thousand tickets revolving around shipping order status, whatever it might be. So instead of you having to manually do it, this product kind of makes it a little bit easier. So happy that you're using it, so that's great.
Yeah, no, that was, we basically should all know, or we have a good understanding of what our top requested questions are from our customers. So to be honest, like, don't need to make this rocket science. Start with your most, your tier 1 support tickets. This is exactly how we got to 50% automation. It was just, we handled Wizmo, we handled subscription cancellation, we handled account management, and from there it just continued to take off.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So now in terms of, so we heard earlier about the 50% automation rate, which is amazing, and hopefully it just keeps cranking up. That'd be great. But how else has the automate feature paid off for your business, for your team? Again, you could share any kind of metrics, KPIs. I know depending on a certain person's role, different metrics are attributable to your position, so it could be any of those things. Yeah,
so from a cost standpoint, obviously Automate saved us as a business, right? I think in 2021, we hired about 20 employees, that's core team, and then seasonal. The following year, we hired 12, and then again, as I mentioned, in 2023, we only hired 2, and that was bringing us to a total of 5 agents. So there's already business savings there. It was very apparent for our CEOs and our founders. So 1, business, great. The thing with a team and having a smaller team is you get to help develop them more, right? I'm no longer focused on 20 employees. I'm focused on our 5 core team members. So from there, they got to pick up specialties. We have 1 person QAing. We have 1 person looking into chargebacks. Like, we're giving them the opportunity that they're eager for to like create their own kind of process. And hopefully the goal would be to help them elevate in their role. We don't want them to just feel stuck, feel repetitive, feel like they're not gaining any knowledge. So this definitely helped the team. The other benefit of this is they were actually seeing how the Automate tool was feeding this information to its customers, or our customers, and they were definitely picking up on kind of like, okay, this customer is responding well to just getting this type of information. So it's actually helping their tickets and providing a higher satisfaction rate. So KPI-wise, our satisfaction rate has gone up. Our resolution time has gone down. I think it was down 50%. And yeah.
No, that's great to hear. And to the point that you had about your support agents, their roles basically evolving. Yesterday during Partner Day and also a few times today, there's been this question like, oh, but what happens? Is AI agent or automate, is this going to replace customer support? It's not meant to replace. It's meant to complement. It's meant to enhance. And just like anything, anytime new technology or nowadays artificial intelligence is everywhere, it's going to change people's roles. It's not going to replace them. So I just kind of wanted to add that caveat. And it's nice to actually hear a use case where that's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, not to date myself, but I remember when the internet became a thing. We thought that all the stores were going to close down. We still have brick and mortar stores, but like it created so many different jobs, right? So I kind of think of AI in that. Like there's always going to be someone there who kind of has to train it or push the button. So I'm not too concerned about it. I'm excited about it.
That's great. So with the release of the beta version of AI Agent, I kind of wanted to get an idea from, and there might be some of you in here that are also on the beta, but I want to understand, what kind of enticed you or excited you about testing out the product before, it was released and ready for everybody.
I mean, AI is all the buzz, right? It's everywhere, and it's not going to go away. So one thing I wanted to be ahead of it, right? It's going to continue to evolve, so might as well get to learn what it's doing in the very beginning. Is it perfect? No, but it's going to continue to get better. And I didn't want to be someone who was catching up, or I didn't want Shinesty to be the company that was catching up. I wanted to make sure that we were there from the beginning to grow and figure it out together. I also, again, I'm not afraid of AI. I love what it can bring for the future, so I'm super stoked about that.
That's great to hear, yeah. I did have a small follow-up on that. So how has the experience been so far? I know it's only been a few weeks or maybe a month, not sure, with AI Agent, whether it's from implementing it or just educating yourself and your team on it, if you could speak to any of that experience.
Yeah, implementing it is fairly easy. They have templates available, which is always a great starting point. You read through the template and you basically get to go through and just update those words that you needed. We don't do it the exact same way, but returns are the same way. Feeding people shipping information is relatively similar across companies. So the guidance part was super easy. I said it was allowed to use humor.
I mean, that's on brand.
Oh, yeah. I mean, does it say some? Its jokes are a little more like dad humor. But you know what? I'm going to let it run with it. So that's actually been a fun thing to watch, because our agents were making jokes about Bridgerton. The next day, the AI agent was making jokes about Bridgerton. So it's really relevant. So that's been super fun to experience and see. But yeah, I would say overall, the experience has been simple. It's not complicated. Again, not rocket science. We're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to give customers a great experience, and we're all kind of answering the same type of questions for the most part at a high level. So onboarding has been great.
Nice. And then just out of curiosity, for when you chose I assume you put the funny part in the tone. So you did a custom version. Yeah. So just to give everyone a little, I guess, feature of AI Agent, you can choose whether you want it to have these pre-built tones, sophisticated, professional, friendly, or you could use your brand guidelines, pop it into a text box just like Molly did, and it'll have a Netflix subscription and tell you Bridgerton jokes. So that's what'll happen. I just want to give a quick overview of some of the features that are coming out in July that are being added to AI Agent. So one of them is its ability to perform actions. Roman kind of showed that on the stage today, and those are just some examples. We'll also have a feature where you can give in-ticket feedback. So just like you would with a customer support agent, you could tell them that was a good job, that was a poor job. You can give a recommendation so that it can continuously improve, and it's all done in the platform. And then website scraping. So instead of just your knowledge base, like Help Center articles, the guidance that Molly just alluded to, macros, we also have website scraping where you pop in a public URL, AI Agent picks it up right there, and now it's been informed by what's on that URL or website. So now that I've highlighted some of these, for your team, which of those is most exciting for you, or one that you're looking forward to the most because you realize, hey, that's something that we could use in terms of that automation rate, or just in general how your CX team is run?
Yeah, I think performing actions is probably something I'm most excited about. I feel like currently how things are set up, the AI agent can get people most of the way, but can't actually perform the action. So I see that being a huge improvement in our automation rate. Those things of canceling an order, changing an address, it always has to be handed off to the agent right now, right? So that's, I think, going to be huge. I know there's one not on there that was on that one. I'm also very excited about the automated QA experience.
Yes.
I think that's actually going to be huge. We've been trying to find that correct rubric, but in reality, humans judging other humans or judging the tickets is kind of hard, and it's very subjective. So I'm super stoked about the AI being able to, it feels a little more like math. It's like, this is the absolute. So I'm also really excited about that feature.
Yeah, it's good that you brought that up. I think yesterday somebody asked me also, like, is there going to be a way for AI agent to, like, again, almost have this like proofreading portion? And I'm like, it's already built in. Like, but how is it going to do that? Well, again, it's all part of that automated QA process that Roman described earlier and that you're alluding to. So yeah, that's great. Great to hear that we're going in the right direction to support you guys and to support everybody else in here to create the best possible CX experience. Yeah, so kind of the more broad question, and I know you alluded to it earlier when you talked about like AI is here, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But how do you feel about the introduction of AI into the CX space? And what would you say to some of the other, they're in the room right now, e-commerce brands considering tools like Automate or AI Agent, or just AI tools in general as they're scaling up?
Don't be afraid. I would say, one, just do it. It's here, not going anywhere, like I said before. I would get in now. We want to learn, we want to grow, we want to be ahead of things. You will get, I don't want to say you will get left behind, but you will get a little left behind, and there will be some catching up to do. It's simple, it's easy. What you all have built is super intuitive. It clearly is built for us. My time is split between multiple teams, and I've had the time to easily go in, update, set it up, and continue to update it. So definitely do it. And for everyone who's afraid of losing that human touch or losing that human interaction, I do think, one, we will always have an agent there to step in if needed, at least for now. But I do think there is something really nice when it comes to, you get to strip away any possibility of negativity. You're removing the emotion on the other side of it. You can train it to be empathetic and understanding of the customer's problem, but it's not going to turn on the customer for coming in hot, right? So I think there's something kind of nice about that. It, not that our agents are like going like out of pocket and being a little crazy, but I could understand where that negative emotion can get to an agent, and that could in turn shift the quality of support they're getting. So there's that. Removing negativity. And then also, this is a development opportunity for your agents. They shouldn't be looked at as the robots, right? Like, I feel like so many leaders, unfortunately, look at the CX team as like these people who are just there to crank out tickets. But they're people, and they can develop, and they can do so much more. So this is really allowing your team the opportunity to develop and go beyond kind of like those mindless tasks that can be easily completed by the AI agent.
Yeah, no, and I might have mentioned this earlier, but we've also heard from some of the other brands that have been on the beta. They're already seeing where some of their customer support agents are taking on new responsibilities or understand that their role is evolving, whether it's being more strategic or having more time for, again, depending on your business model, maybe more VIP customers and relationship management or cross-selling, whatever it might be. So it's just, supporting that evolution of the role.
Yeah, yesterday I was speaking, I believe his name is Alex from July, the bag company, and he actually hired a automation specialist. Well, he promoted one of his agents to an automation specialist, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm stealing that. I know exactly who's going in that role. That's a promotion. That's not like, I'm not going to bring on a new person, because the CX agent I'm thinking of loves technology, loves writing a process. So like, let's promote her and let's get her doing something she's really interested in.
Beautiful.
All right, great. Thank you so much, guys, for this very interesting chat. So another chance for you to get the QR code and the code, or just the number, to put in your questions in Slido. And then if we can get the other page up, that would be great. So we can check what those questions are. Could I also get them on this screen so I can read them? Okay, cool. And you can also upvote if you are interested in some specific questions. So we'll take them by order. So the first one is, can the AI agent be given a name? So yes, you have a section with your signature. In the AI agent settings, you can have a custom signature and you can put whatever you want. So we've seen different merchants use different tactics. Some of them give it a name and create a whole persona around it. Some other are more transparent about the bot being an AI. What we recommend as Gorgias is to be more on the transparent side than giving it a name, but it's entirely up to you. Then, how did you get, this one is for Molly. How did you get to a point where you were confident in AI handling tickets independently, aka monitoring, training, etc.?
There's a testing feature. So anything you set live, you can submit, you can write in a ticket as a customer, as an existing customer. You can pick a particular profile that you'd like to see the response to. So it's a lot of that going back and forth. And then once you kind of have a understanding of what the AI agent is looking for, it's really easy to update that guidance to make it successful.
Then we have, does the AI agent attempt to answer every inquiry or only the ones where an instruction is given? Our current AI tools sometimes answer things it shouldn't. So there is a section for handover topics or exclusion topics. And so you can define exactly what you don't want the AI agent to answer. And so for those, it will just, depending on your setting, either send an email saying like, oh, I'm going to pass you off to someone from the team, or it's a silent one and it just waits for an agent to pick it up. So it won't try to answer everything. And you can also, if I'm correct, create a rule to exclude some topics as well.
I'll also add that if AI agent doesn't have the information to answer that question, whether the right guidance or macro, it will not. It's not gonna guess and be like, oh, I think that you should do this. It's not gonna go in that direction. So these safeguards and barriers have been created, and the customization feature has been created so that these scenarios, I don't know who wrote this question, but so that doesn't happen.
Cool. This one is for Molly as well. How have you kept your brand voice consistent while using automating?
Yeah, we touched on it a bit, but I did set up a custom tone. I let it use humor where appropriate. It's probably not as wild as some of our humor, but I think that works in a CX context. So we've definitely done a good job, or I think the AI agent has done a good job of knowing when it needs to be a little more serious, but then also knowing when it's okay to drop a little joke in there. So far, it's been working really well.
Yeah, I would add that there is a tool built in where AI agent picks up on intent, right? It's not just reading the text as is. It can actually understand, all right, is this an angry customer? Is this a neutral customer? Are they a happy customer? And then it'll dictate the direction of their response.
Right, and if it detects that it's an angry customer, it will also automatically pass it on and not respond. And there's also another, if there's too much back and forth with that customer, we've set a threshold, or then it will also hand it over because then it shows it's not able to answer correctly or exactly what the customer wants. And so how do escalation work with an AI agent? Does it just pass over the question? It doesn't know. So we kind of just touch on that, but yes. So you can decide if it's a handover with the message or if it's a silent one. in the settings, and then if it doesn't know, it doesn't know, and it will pass it on. And then we're building a feature which is in-ticket feedback, where you'll be able to see those tickets that were either answered or no answer was given, and you will be able to see why no answer was given. And so if there was no relevant resource, you'll be able to see that the AI agent thought it didn't have the right resources. You'll be able to say, yes, that was correct. Or you can say, no, actually, I know I have something about this. And you'll be able to tell the AI agent, you should have used this. You could have answered that, actually. And then using that feature over time, it will get better. Yeah, it will improve. Then this one is for Molly. Have you seen a change in the type of tickets that are coming in since your goal has been to teach a customer to self-serve?
Yeah, I think one place this really sticks out is so we launched a subscription product in 2019. In 2022, we actually changed how customers interact with our subscription. We allow them to pick their product now. We used to have people reaching out to us all the time in order to have us select their product or help them in some way. So we basically, our auto responses are teaching them how to pick their own pair, how to navigate their portal. So that is something that has definitely decreased in our tickets. And also we can see that swaps are going up, as well as like add-on products to your subscription. So by teaching them, we've kind of driven them to their portal and taught them how to explore. So it's definitely improved and cut down on those tickets.
Mm-hmm. Great. Then next question. Sorry. Will AI agent eventually have access to ERPs like Oracle? I actually don't know that answer, Victor.
AI agent will directly integrate with everything that we have in Gorgias right now. So that's like coming up July 1st. And then with AI agent, you also have the possibility to build custom actions where you can basically, if you're like kind of technical, you can call any services and just like get the information right from there. So I'm not making any promises to have like a built-in ERP Oracle integration, but you can work with AI agent to give it access to this information.
All right, then, so this one was done, this one as well. So what is the difference between using macro response rules versus AI? I think the main difference is that it's completely autonomous, and it's feeding on all of your knowledge, all of your data, all of your customer information, your integrations, and it's able to answer to anything that you potentially even haven't thought of, instead of just following a pre-written template of what the answer should be. And so I think it's overall more agile than, but maybe you have a different take?
No, you got it.
Okay. Can you influence the QA process to focus on certain qualities or process in a ticket more than others? Not sure I understand the question. As in, like, when queuing the AI ticket, can someone that put that question elaborate? Yes.
I think one of the things I'm more concerned about is that I don't want to necessarily look at a ticket as a pass-fail, but in some situations, the connection with the customer is more important than strictly following our policy or something like that.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, so there's two aspects of the QA on the ticket. So you have one general pass, which is kind of global to the whole ticket, and then you also have individual pass-fail on like the sources used, and then you also have report any other issue, and here it's a drop-down where you can say it used the wrong language, or it wasn't empathic enough, or it overpromised, and those type of feedback. Right now we have a set list. It might evolve as we encounter new things to give feedback on. we'll see if it becomes a need to maybe have an open field for you to put something else. Not available yet, but we'll see how it changes. So these is less binary, I guess. And then something that we're starting to look at that Molly mentioned, which is the auto QA, is we're working on something that's going to be applied to everything, not just AI tickets, where that's something that we're going to be looking at. Like maybe you followed the process as an agent, whether it's a human or AI, but actually you were very cold. Or maybe you changed the process for that customer, but you were super understanding. And all of the different kind of pillar of how good your CX is are going to be taken into account. But that's coming over the next few months, quarters. We'll see. What platform can AI agent be used on? So for now, it's only email, but we're going to be working to get it to chat in Q3. And then we've mentioned socials, but I guess we need with the team to work and figure out technically how to expand it to other channels over time. Our AI actions, for example, loop already possible at July 1st release, sounded like not currently. So I think from what I've heard, it's going to be released before the GA. So it should be possible to start using actions, starting July 1st.
Yeah, I was just going to add, because you put loop in there, and Victor, you'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think just the other, like Shopify and Recharge, they're like native actions. You just go to that customization configuration page for that Roman showed to set it up, those actions. I think for loop, you just need like an API key. Once it's authenticated, it redirects you there, and you do the same thing in terms of configuring. I'm just saying that because somebody brought up loop, so just giving you that caveat.
Does that include custom actions? July 1st also?
Yeah.
So now, what is AI agent pricing? This is part of Automate, so it's going to be the same pricing as what we have currently.
Still just on automated interaction.
What types of third party can you integrate this AI feature with? Do you know?
I mean, it's the same answer. It's the
same answer.
Yeah, like we support a couple of them right from the start. Everything that we don't support, we can set up manually in custom actions. And as we go, what we do as a team is that we look at what you guys set up as custom actions and we make them native. So it's easier for the next ones to set up. And also, when you're setting up actions, you have a button to ask for
Do you know
help
this?
or request a new action, so that this way we know that what are the main ones that we should build. And that's how
I think so, yeah, in the guidance, yeah.
Yeah, but by default, July 1st, it has access to everything Gorgias knows, but all the integration that we have currently with Gorgias will be in there.
So we have a generous policy in our CX. Can you prompt it to give discounts, refunds, etc. when a customer is obsessed or unhappy? Yes, so in the guidance that Molly was referencing, this is something that's going to be available in the AI agent settings, and you can, in there, create a guidance about this to prompt it to create a refund code in here. Because we also have kind of this QA system where customers really unhappy to not hand it over, I think you'll have to probably play with it to find the right level of unhappiness to prompt this discount code, but that should be possible.
Yeah, and I'll just add, because I see refunds is there, which is an action. So you just got to make sure that the guidance doesn't conflict with the constraints that you put on that action, because then AI agents can be like, I'm not answering this. I'm having two different sets of information. So they need to be consistent across your whole help center.
Then, would you be able to prompt AI to reopen a ticket that had a low CSAT? I don't think for now we can reopen a ticket, but that's an interesting feedback. You can do a rule? But would AI agent pick it up afterwards? No. Yeah. Yeah. So not possible yet, or for now, but we can take the feedback in. Yeah. So that's for you, Molly. What's the biggest challenge you faced when started with automation?
I think one thing I did is I overwhelmed it a bit much. I didn't know what it was prioritizing. So I was trying to, luckily I had a really nice onboarding. So we worked through this, but I was trying to create, I wasn't sure if I was doing guidance or macros or like, what is it going to be referencing? So I actually I was creating macros for the AI agent, and they're like, that's not how that works. Because the actions I wanted the AI agent to take was slightly different than the macros, right? Like if they were trying to cancel a subscription, right? I need the AI agent to tell the customer how to cancel the subscription. If a CX agent is doing that, well, this will be resolved with actions. But if a CX agent was doing that at the time, they would just cancel the subscription for the customer, right? So I was providing conflicting information, but as soon as I understood the hierarchy of how it was referencing information, we were able to clean that up.
Thank you. Another one for you. How did you address employee or agents' early concerns about AI making their job or work obsolete before specialization and new roles became available?
So they saw a major change over the holidays, right, with automated tickets reaching 50%. So they knew things were changing back then, but they saw how we handled that and how that none of them lost their jobs. We kept all our agents around, and we just started instantly having them specialize in outreach and like chargebacks and stuff like that. So we were very proactive in when we saw the major change that we communicated with our agents that like, you're safe, let's find stuff for you to do. So they weren't concerned, and actually they're more excited about the AI agent because they feel less overwhelmed and less like they're doing tedious tasks. So the team was down like from the beginning. Well, it was kind of scary when I'm like, we're not hiring too many people during the holidays. Y'all are on your own. But they said it felt more in control than when we were bringing on holiday agents prior. Yeah, they were like, they felt like they were cleaning up tickets instead of like AI or automation, which is more set and controlled and understanding what's communicated to the customers.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, so now we have task reporting filter out, AI agent versus real agent. So in the agent, in your analytics, when you have the agent report, you will be able to see it as one of your agents. So I guess you can just look at that line. And then in the automation overview page, you have a channel filter, so you could filter out just the automation rate and like the interactions. But for the agent, yes, you can see it by itself. And I think soon we'll also have it as just a profile as well in the list of users. But yeah, you can. And then what percentage of your seasonal headcount drop from 2020 to 2023 would you directly attribute to automation, AI, and not COVID?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. So I do think there's some comparison to be done, right? 2022 versus 2023 was pretty in line with performance. Like, we saw the same amount of tickets, so I think that's a great comparison. In 2022, we didn't have an AI agent, and we had we had a total of 12 agents. We hired 7 seasonal agents at the time. In 2023, we had a total of 5 agents. That's 3 core and 2 seasonal. And I do directly attribute that to automation.
Mm-hmm. So Loop was mentioned as an integration that will allow AI actions. Will it work with other return platforms such as Navar and Aftership?
It's the same response as before. It's custom actions. And again, I think Victor mentioned it. We're going to be tracking all the different requests going into those custom actions. So something, what are the options here? Narvar becomes, one that's very prevalent in our user base. Then, all right, that's a signal to us. We need to build a native action out of that. But yeah, custom actions. Put it in on July 1st.
Would you be able to create different rules response for email versus chat versus social media? We use different tones response that are shorter or longer. do you mean rules or responses specifically for AI agent or just normal rules? Ah.
Mainly because our tone or our length of question or response might change depending upon the channel.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're responding to a comment and we just want them to say thanks or
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that the team is working on right now, because bringing the AI agent from email to chat is coming in with its different sets of specialties, because of the lengths of answers, the latency, and that kind of thing. So that's something that we're going to try to figure out. And then with that will come potentially different settings so that you can control differently your AI agent on one or the other. But we're at the beginning of this process, so we don't know yet how this will look like. But as the team is working on this, we're probably going to connect with some of you to understand what the needs would be. All right. We are? Okay, so let's let's not submit more questions and then we can get over those two. All right, so is there an option to provide suggested response that can be reviewed by an agent and subsequently sent for individual tickets, as in kind of a co-pilot feature, I'm guessing? So right now, no, because we're trying to position AI agent as its own agent. We haven't gone the route of Copilot for the moment. One thing that we have, though, is Bernie was mentioning this QA process that's integrated. And so there are cases where it's not going to pass the QA step. And so coming potentially just after GA, we're going to show you those tickets that didn't pass QA. And so it will be shown on the ticket, and you'll be able to take them kind of like this co-pilot idea, so you can quickly tweak them and then set them out. And that's also going to help you see what we're able to catch and not send, or potentially identify maybe gaps that you could fill in the guidances or in your knowledge. So that's the closest we have to potentially reviewing answers before sending them. Yeah, for now, that's it. And then how are you thinking about, how are you thinking about which ticket to automate versus not based on cost of automation credits?
Are we meaning just like how do we measure how I'm looking at it is I pay attention to, I don't know if I'm answering this question correctly, but I'm basically looking at the costs per ticket, per agent. It's easy to calculate. So I knew that I know exactly what the cost per ticket for an automated ticket is. So if we have to scale up automate, it would probably make more sense than hiring another agent. So just breaking that down and kind of making sure we're paying attention to those trends is how I'm making the decision whether I need to bring on another human agent or if we're okay increasing the cost of automation.
Cool, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Thank you to Molly, our guest speaker.
Thank you.
And just to remind you two things, lunch is ready. And then two, after lunch, come to the Genius Bar if you want your AI agent to be set up and looked at by some people from the team. Thank you.